Season 2 of Vikings Valhalla is here, and it's safe to say that it was an interesting one for sure. Within this season, we saw most of the main characters split up and venture on their own paths compared to the first season. However, that didn't mean that the show was any worse or had any less action, following Leif, Erikson and Harald Sigurdsson on their journey to Constantinople. And Freydis as the keeper of the faith in Jomsborg, the ending of this season showed that there's definitely more to come in Season 3. So with that, I thought I'd recap, break down, and explain all that there was to take away from this season. So let's get into it. Here is Vikings Valhalla Season 2 Ending Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. This season of the show focused on three main different stories unfolding. We had Freydis in Jomsborg, where she was the keeper of the faith and fought for herself, her child, the people of Jomsborg, and peace. We had Leif, Erikson and Harald Sigurdsson setting off to Constantinople in order to build an army so Harald could fight to claim what was his, the title of the King of Norway. And we also had the mystery that was going on surrounding Queen Emma and Earl Godwin around if he was behind the attempted taking out of her. Something we never properly got to find out. Let's break this video down by the three main arcs. Freydis and Jomsborg. As we embarked on the final episode, we saw that Jorundor had been found by Olaf, who was heading for Jomsborg, a place he had never been before, but he wanted to go there in order to take out the ruler and essentially wipe it off the map. Jorundor believed that Freydis was dead and that Herikir was still the ruler. However, that wasn't the case anymore, as we saw when the people turned on him due to him lying to them after Freydis returned. We saw that once Olaf confronted Freydis at the sea, Jorundor's mother gave him a note which then led him to deceive Olaf and the people alongside him. This led to the group being outnumbered and being taken out once they hit land. It also saw Jorundor get killed. However, he died alongside his own people and not as a traitor as he was previously looked upon as. Away from the battle that was taking place, we saw that Olaf and Freydis met at the port, where we saw that the water had oil poured into it, which meant that it was extremely flammable, and as we saw, the entirety of the ships, crew, and water burst into flames, leaving just Olaf and Freydis to battle it out, where we saw that Freydis became victorious. Olaf met his demise at the hands of Freydis, something that should have happened at the end of Season 1 in the final battle, but it was a satisfying ending for the character for sure. This then left one survivor, and that was Svein Knutson, who was the current king of Norway, King Canut's son. However, we saw that Freydis, instead of killing him, returned him to his mother in Kattegat, where all she asked for in return was peace, and this was something that was agreed by both parties. As Freydis walked out, we heard the voices inside of her head of the wars and battles that had taken place throughout the 2 seasons, and then silence. Meaning that she believed that peace was now found, and that she, alongside her son Harald, would be able to live in peace in Jomsborg. However, I can't see that being the case for long. All the time that her son is alive, he will one day be in line to the throne, which is something that I imagine Canute and Forkbeard will not want at all, so I feel she'll most likely face more threats coming her way. With the resident asking for her name as she boarded the boat, Freydis identified herself, something that she didn't do in the first episode when she was asked, showing that for now, she can live peacefully and without threat, something that she hasn't been able to do for a very long time, so it was a nice ending for her. The Quest to Constantinople. This was a quest that was mainly led by Harald Sigurdsson. He is the rightful heir to the throne of Norway, however it's currently held by Svein, as was appointed by Forkbeard, with Sigurdsson just about making it out alive at the end of Season 1. This season saw him spending his time heading to Constantinople in order to build an army to take on Canute, Svein and Forkbeard in the future, which is something that I feel the entirety of the show is building towards. Harald Sigurdsson looking to secure the throne. We saw him recruit a group of people to go alongside him, which did mean that some sadly lost their lives along the way. Most of the casualties were met when they faced the Pechenegs and managed to escape from them. During this quest, we saw that Harald grew close to an individual called Elena, so much so that they even shared a kiss in the final episode. Elena was carrying out her father's quest of returning to Constantinople in order to repay the debt that was served to them long ago to protect the people. However, to their surprise, we saw that the Emperor of Constantinople went on a journey to meet with Harald, following the rumors of him getting past the Pechenegs. It was revealed to us that the debt was that Elena was to become Empress of Constantinople, which was a surprise to everyone. As a reward for her safely arriving there, this meant that the Emperor gave Sigurdsson a favour to be redeemed, which I imagine we'll see in the new season, which I imagine is going to be him requesting an army. However, with him stating that as he got closer to the destination, he felt as though he was drifting from the purpose as to why he was doing it, we could see him instead maybe want to stay put in Constantinople, where a life of riches could be his, so it will be interesting to see. Leif Erikson had an interesting journey in this season too. Whilst on this quest, he started as the lost individual as he didn't really know what to do following on from the death of Liv in season 1. He only saw anger and rage. However, he turned out to be more level-headed as he grew closer to a scholar who boarded the ship, called Mariam. She taught him a lot and set him up on a journey to discover more and more knowledge as she went through life. However, she was ill and was deteriorating as the season went on, so much so that we saw her die in the final episode, meaning Leif lost another person that he loved. Before she died, she gave Leif a key to her house in Constantinople, where she said that he could stay and use anything in there to develop his knowledge. For this set of characters, the season finished for them by sailing into Constantinople and being amazed by the view that was in front of them. They've come a long way, but they've still got a long way to go too. Their fighting ability is unparalleled, and even though we didn't see much of it in this season, I feel we'll see more in the next season as the fight for Norway will likely commence. Queen Emma and Earl Godwin. The final main plot that we saw in this season was focused in England, and this was around the attempted taking out of Queen Emma. Earl Godwin most certainly seemed like he had something to do with it, and the Queen had her suspicions too. Godwin was in a secret relationship with Alfwin, whose brother was the person who tried to take out the Queen. Early on in the season, we saw that Godwin dreamt of having a son that was king, something which by the end of the season we saw was now a possibility, and I think was part of his master plan. Godwin seemed like a Littlefinger type of character, where he devised a plan to woo Alfwin, got her brother involved so he'd be taken out, then due to the association Alfwin had to him, it would mean that she would likely be questioned and then killed for information. This would then mean that Godwin would get a hand in marriage to Canute's niece out of sympathy, Princess Geitha. Now if they have a child, it will be somewhat in line to the throne, so I feel we will see him devise another plan in order to get closer to that lineage. Emma is still suspicious of Godwin, so much so that the ring that she took from Godwin's guardian when he was younger, John Fletcher, was given to Princess Geitha as a gift to wear around her neck at all times, a symbol to show him that even in his most intimate moments with her, he won't be able to escape the presence of the Queen and the fact that she knows about his past and information. I thought this was a very good season of the show. Focusing on the future of all of the characters, we saw them taking steps to better themselves and take back what was rightfully theirs. I'll be intrigued to see if Harald will stay put in Constantinople, where he'll be the richest he would have ever been thanks to the Emperor, or if he'll return to Freydis, his child, and the throne that he so desires. Peace is present, but I don't think it's going to last for long, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next. So, there you have it, Vikings Valhalla Season 2 Ending Explained. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions, and character breakdowns, then click on the I button, or alternatively you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @brainpilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What did you think of this season? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.